Danny Danon has been Israel's ambassador to the United Nations for 5 years. I sat down with Ambassador Danon for an exclusive interview as he wraps up his service in that tough global arena. He told us that even though many say the opportunity has passed for Israel to declare sovereignty over Judea and Samaria, the West Bank, there's still time to make an historic move.
Now we are discussing the peace plan and maybe applying sovereignty over Judea and Samaria. I support that. I think it's about time that we will do it. And we are grateful for the great cooperation between Jerusalem and Washington.
Tell us about applying sovereignty. First of all, some people call it annexation, but I think correctly it would be declaring sovereignty over parts of Judea and Samaria. Is that right?
Chris, you cannot annex something that belongs to you. When you read the Bible, you understand that Judea and Samaria, it's part of our homeland. So you cannot annex it. We can apply sovereignty. And I think we should do it. We have rights to the land in Judea and Samaria. We have biblical rights. We have historical rights. And also, according to international law, we have rights to the land. So it is about time. I told the Prime Minister, I told my friend in the government, look at the history of Israel. When we had strong leaders who took strong decisions, we prevailed. That's what happened when David Ben-Gurion decided to actually move the Knesset from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem and declare Jerusalem as our capital. That's what happened in 1981 when Prime Minister Menachem Begin applied sovereignty over the Golan Heights. It wasn't an easy decision. By the way, the US, back then it was President Reagan, the US condemned Israel and punished Israel. And look where we are today, that you have the Golan Heights as a buffer between the radicals in Syria and the communities of the Galilee. So we should do the same. We should do the right thing for Israel, the right thing for the Jewish people. And I think no one can argue and claim that the land belongs to somebody else. And I told it to my colleagues in the UN, in the Security Council. I took out the Bible and I told them, this is our deed to the land. If you can prove it otherwise, do it now. They were quiet, because no one can actually deny the claim of the Jewish people to the land of Judea.
Tell us as well about the importance of the San Remo resolution. We were there together at the 90th anniversary. We actually did an anniversary special at the 100th anniversary of San Remo. Why is that so important in this whole context, especially about applying sovereignty over Judea and Samaria?
For me, biblical rights, it's enough. I don't need more explanation. Some will argue it's not enough. So I show them the historical rights. And they will argue it's not enough. We have international law. So let's speak about international law. And when you go back to reading the history of international law, you go back to 1917, to the Balfour Declaration, which acknowledges the right of the Jews for a Jewish homeland in the land of Israel. And right after that, in 1920, you have the San Remo Conference, where the superpowers come in together and actually acknowledge our rights to the land. And then you go back to 1945, when the UN was established. They actually accepted previous agreements. So they accepted the San Remo Conference. And today, according to the UN Charter, Israel has the rights to the land in Judea and Samaria.
Right now, Prime Minister Netanyahu was made July 1st as a possible date to move, to declare sovereignty. That's been moved, and now there's a complicated government, a coalition that may be not on the same page. How would you describe, perhaps politically, how annexation or how sovereignty can go forward?
First of all, Chris, you always have the issue of timing. Also, when I was involved in moving the US Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, I got phone calls from many leaders who told me, Danny, maybe it's not the right timing. And I told them, you never have the right timing. When you do something right, you just do it. And that's exactly what we have to do today. We cannot wait for a better timing for applying sovereignty over the communities in Judea and Samaria. Today, yes, we are dealing with the COVID crisis. We have economical crisis. But at the same time, we have a friend in the White House. We have a friend which actually stand with us and give us the support to move forward. And I think it will be a reality check for the Palestinians as well. If you do not negotiate with us, if you don't speak with us, we are not waiting. We are moving forward.
Do you expect an announcement in the near future?
We have a short window to take actions. Today we are starting soon the month of August. In September we have the Jewish holidays, and in November you have the elections in the US. So the next few weeks are the crucial weeks for taking a bold decision. First of all is our Prime Minister, our government. That's where you have to take the decision, and the support from our strongest ally, the US. So I will do my best to support those two great leaders to take the right decision, because history will judge the leadership according to those decisions.
Alpha,